Right, guys, good evening. Fiifi-Manfred City. Thank you very much for all joining us here on your Sunday edition of Azi on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube constantly. So they be out anything come on here. You know, say this is your best in terms of football analysis. On the pitch, off the pitch, tactical analysis, pre-match analysis, everything that you want to know about football. It doesn't get any better than you get it from here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's guys, my main control say, oh, you have been a regular member of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Like we always do, want to say a very, very big thank you to you for all of the good things that you've done for us. I want to say a very, very big thank you to you for how good you've done to us consistently. Or stick with us now. Mama BBI, come on, I want to say a very, very big thank you to you. So who are new to the channel, so I want to say a very, very big thank you to you, of course. And also subscribe to the channel now, turn on notification. Send it back anytime your content ever drop. I know you're first to have it on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube over here. See, this weekend, Nema Akosuni has always taken me back to my principles of analysis and being an analyst. And even reportage to an extent of being a broadcaster and to a greater extent a journalist. And I say this in the sense of context. Context say, in Komopia Ubedi Wobomono, it has to be used in context. Like for example, wouldn't me emphasize just data. Even common as a standalone, it doesn't make sense. Wouldn't me emphasize just tactics, eye test. Defending common as a standalone, it doesn't make sense. I believe to a larger extent, to a greater extent, for everything that we do in ball, and even for to a very large extent of our life, you hear context in the sense that it has to be in relation to something, it has to be in relation to so what are the realities, what are the best practices. They're very, very important. And I'm saying this because from now, Madridistas have a problem. Chelsea fans have a problem now. Madridistas, I can't say baby, especially about Carlo Ancelotti and Atletico de Madrid. I've said same, and also Chelsea, any team on friend of Brighton, and after the game. And in recent times, results at Enzo Maresca, Enya, or Chelsea, have not been good. To be very honest with you, and it doesn't matter whether you're Maresca and I say Maresca or whatever. That's a different conversation we'll be doing later, but. So we'll share the conversation of Chelsea Football Club. Since 2025 started, Chelsea last 10 matches on my ball. Oma winning with 3, Oma draw with 3, and Oma lose with 4. And it has been draw, loss, draw, win, loss, win, lose. So clearly you can see that Chelsea have not been in a good place in recent times. But I've said it several times, and I did say at the beginning of the season, as an analyst, I try to be very, very circumspect on my human being. So when I'm talking about Madrid, when I'm talking about Barca, talking about other things, I don't hide my biases. I need that from day one. Everybody that knows me knows me. Chelsea, I love Chelsea, my club. When I talk about every club, I try to be very circumspect. Even my local club, I try to be very, very circumspect. Say Chelsea lose match. I'm a fan too. Sometimes I lose my head. And most of those times, I stay away from my keyboard or my phone, or stay away from the microphone or something, just to calm down. And I analyze. But I thought I go back to Twitter. The kind of things I see people say, it's so laughable. And I can understand because I've said it several times. So I said, I have to allow people to be fans. I have to not stress them. As so many fans, allow them to be fans. I need to be the analyst. I need to always find a middle ground. But if somebody says they are going to be fans, allow them to be fans, allow them to do whatever they want to do. Let them go in and do whatever thing that they want to do. It's very, very important. Now, Enra. So Chelsea game on Brighton and over your board now. It tells me a really critical story. Now, the first story now, what makes it very critical is the fact that Chelsea grand problem now. Say Nicolas Jackson airbar. You feel say team A boy you more critical chance, but here BB, right? It's the same way say Nicolas Jackson and Mobia. You feel like the team is not creating chances, and it's still here BB. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. If Nicolas Jackson is in a Chelsea team, the refrain or any the the bandwagon at DBA title, and he say, oh, Jackson do bit my boy Chelsea no more critic chance be brave. Critic chance here. After don't mean convert it. So then you want somebody that will convert the chance. Nicolas Jackson Nima and Ranajo. The huge conversation was that Chelsea were essentially toothless wingers, number 10s, whatever. They were very, very much toothless, and it was affecting the team to a large extent. And you see, if you want to understand Chelsea's problem, that's the reality. Reality of the problem is that there are issues with the squad building. And I did say at the beginning of the season, said one of the things they said Chelsea Sporting Directors national in the year, and I said in the summer transfer window, what Chelsea would have to do is that they need to meet you somewhere ironing out all the differences in terms of the squad building. Every player that they buy has to be a hit. They can't afford to miss out on any player or pay on number one choice or best solve a problem. In general, see, we share the match against Brighton and Hove Albion. You realize that the game is screaming for a physical duel monster that wins duels. Like Sir Dario Esugo guy and I can't want him in general. Like Obi Tini Albon Moise Caicedo near winning duels because second ball Chelsea winning Caicedo can go into a battle where winning duel. Now if I can't on they don't win and nobody wins duels again. Kenan Drisby was not a guy to win those duels. I don't know how Leicester were playing in championship, but truly you can tell that he's not a duel winner. And I've said several times there, maybe the Chelsea Sporting Directors brought in Kenan Drisby because bringing in Enzo Maresca, who is a new manager, only experience. Sometimes you need players on your Maya Juma Pena or name the methods, no? Then he can go on and play them. Or then those players can help in terms of the assimilation of the plans to the players. It's very important. That absence of physicality what Chelsea squad building has been really, really, really worrying. I know that for a lot of people, the easiest conversation is that but there is a dual winner in Leslie Ochuku or Southampton. I didn't think Chelsea for now for membership team in one way we need duels now more. And my quick answer is that sometimes you need also to allow these players to develop. Because imagine Leslie Ochuku comes or bad team Nima, he is playing mostly 6 rolling with Moise Caicedo. Let's say in Casa match or Bonacoma Resti, Leslie Ochuku. One game less, his development is going down the drain. It's the same thing that I kept on saying about Trevor Chalobah said. What Chelsea need essentially was not just an RCB. They needed more, an aggressor, somebody that put pressure a lot of the times on the ball. Now, Chelsea team and the lack of a left-footed centre back really affected build-up. In the Chelsea build-up or building, Trevor Chalobah any LCB or RCB into the angles don't help. Like on your right-footed player, now on the left-hand side, you always have to shift. It's an oriented body need to find those passing angles. Also, you are going to be biased towards the right side and or to your left side, maybe over one corner. But if you are left-footed and that's why you can be pedal or Jinasa side, what you put that going and call right on or born essentially. It's very important. You see, these are the nitty-gritties of the game. Sometimes we better say, oh, it's just a little bit too much and they are just excuses. And excuses, they are the real nitty-gritties of the game. I have a big problem with Enzo Maresca. And after the game, I went on Twitter and I said that this is a pure shit show. I tweeted, I don't care, because really, in that point in time, that was exactly what the game was about. It was really a pure shit show. Enzo Maresca didn't look like he had solutions. And of course, when you look on the bench, there are no solutions. Now, Osha Enzo Maresca did me on the touchline. It's not the mistakes that he does. I think that Enzo Maresca like this is being too overzealous on his methods. You don't always have to play Cole Palmer in the half space. Last season, Cole Palmer played on the right wing. Constantly will come inside and allow Malo Gusto to overlap next to him. In the Argentina, when you are playing in the game like this, Opesa will ball with a back threes on the ball. Now Petosina Drebi at CCB. You can easily have done Trevor Chalobah at RCB, play Tosina Drebi at CCB, then play Marco Correa at LCB. Then overlap with Malo Gusto, keep Cole Palmer from outward. I know that the big issue is that how is Cole Palmer going to do a lot of the work, like without the ball, or be pressing now, maybe on pressing, maybe a Cole Palmer will not draw back, but that doesn't matter in a game like this against Brighton. You need to also try it. And I have those real issues with Enzo Maresca, to be very honest with you. But the bigger problem is the squad building and how a Chelsea squad in here a few tweaks in the middle of the park and even up top. As at centre forward, Chelsea need a real duel monster. Obi very physical. We need duels. We need combative. Like Sandy Man is very, very important, especially in the Premier League. And meaning, sorry, Chelsea here. In 7 days, Chelsea are going to play Brighton and Hove Albion twice. Between the FA Cup qualification and a winning of 3 points. I don't know what you want. I want to ask you, which of them would you have chosen as 3 pointer? Which of them would you have chosen as 3 pointer? Because Chelsea will go back there on Friday. And again, the conversation I was having about the importance of Nicolas Jackson. In the absence of Nicolas Jackson, you could tell the team you are very toothless. And in the next game, Maresca or Jackson regimes own pride. There's a possibility that both of them are going to be fit and come back and come and play for Chelsea on Friday. Now that is good news because Nicolas Jackson essentially elevates Chelsea in terms of chance creation. But I've said several times that Enzo Maresca need to try something new, especially when you're playing Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto should be the marauding fullback on to go up and down. Now Boris James rather at RCB. No ball. What's his name? One ball. Levi and Anase Kukreya at LCB, which is very, very important. And I think that there are certain things that Enzo Maresca is having wrong. But see, the job Enzo Maresca has done, you can't say someone had it. You can't say someone born. You can't say he's a good coach. He has really brought the team very, very far. And for me, you need to give him some credits. Now, all the credits here, you still have every right to criticize him like I'm doing. I mean, at the end of the day, that is why he does the job that he does. He knows that he's not immune to any form of criticism. And lots of the people are going to criticize him. And that's the thing. And now, Chelsea Timisha first goal, Bart Verbruggen own goal. Then you allow Jorginho Rutter and your branch here for Kuro Mitoma. I mean, there are people that are talking about handball for Kuro Mitoma born, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. And now, Kylian Mbappe in the first goal in the Madrid derby. In a game where you knew that Madrid would want something from it. Madrid came into that game making sure that they wanted results. They wanted to get something out of it. The bigger question for Madrid going into our match, and they said, Sina, Oshe Madrid match, Madrid lineup, the players that were fit, Raul Asensio, Oshe Vasquez, Oshe Tchouameni, Oshe Ferland Mendy or Fran Garcia. Every time, one of the things that we kept on speaking about is that he's an inexperienced centre back backline, and also backline with a lot of players who are not comfortable, particularly playing there. And see, Tchouameni, any proper centre back. Same for Raul Asensio, any proper centre back, and it did affect them. And of course, even a fullback was same. Lucas Vasquez same. There was a point in time in the game where Vasquez scored a Kokemu. In fact, they gave him a ball, he failed to control, and it was a turnover. And that was the game plan from Atletico de Madrid for 2 times this season. Madrid have been drawn. In fact, so Madrid team Manchester City free map in the round of 16 of the Champions League. There's a possibility that Madrid this year Atletico de Madrid or Bayern for Leverkusen. Also, say Madrid echo in the Copa del Rey. So Copa del Rey, there's a possibility that there's going to be Madrid and Atletico de Madrid. So Madrid derby is a possibility being at least new. The bigger issue for Madrid is that they are going into this week going to play against Manchester City when they know that almost players are almost fit, almost centre backs on competing about almost all of them are out of side game, and they're not going to be able to play in that match. It makes it really, really, really worrying in terms of match, and what they can do, how they can play in, how they are able to, how they be able to go into such a match. It makes it really, really difficult for FC Real Madrid. But it's a match that they have to go on and win. And you know, I like what Marca did. So on the front page of Marca talks about Lucas Vasquez and the issue with the injury and with Atletico de Madrid players. No, of course, he speaks about the fact that Spanish La Liga table also Barca are going to play against Sevilla. It's a game where Barca cannot afford to lose. Barca himself, so many team, the all-important winner. They close in onto Madrid with just 2 points because Madrid were leading them by 4 points over there. And Madrid +1, I'm gonna be 5. Say Barcelona team 3 pointer, about just 2 points for FC Barcelona. And if Barca are able to get that number of points for themselves, it gives them a very, very good close. Spanish La Liga and a very close contest over there. Raul Asensio on the day for me was very, very important in the kind of game, boy. Again, you give him a lot of credit, even for Raul Asensio and even Marco Asensio. Very, very good. Oh, not Marco Asensio, Raul Asensio. Very, very good. And for a young player like Raul Asensio, young boy, you could tell the career no go set up because he's an utmost leader. And I've seen him do it at Liverpool, at Anfield. Although Raul Asensio, elbow game or in a Real Madrid match where we're called Anfield, one of the centre backs, and he doesn't seem fast by ball or ball. He was very, very good over there, and it's something I was in master for outlet. Asensio's game was spectacular, one of those that lead to careers. In the first half, he was the leader in the defense. Like I did say, all of them were naive, were inexperienced. They were a little bit new to his roles. But then again, give a lot of credit to Raul Asensio for being a leader over there. He emerged victorious from all the duels that he won versus Atletico forwards. It was a very, very good game from Raul Asensio over there. Now, that was Spanish La Liga name. Of course, Aurelien Tchouameni, although he considered that penalty, he's still giving some credit. Did some very, very good stuff over there. Played some good stuff. Tchouameni's performance also earned congratulations from Ancelotti. The Frenchman improved and overcame the penalty play, in which he clearly stepped on Lino. Of course, a lot of Madrid fans went here and now, so it wasn't a penalty. It was a clear penalty. He stepped on Lino. And Atletico de Madrid for VAR asked about it. In fact, the referee wanted some more, but then it was clear and a penalty as they told him. And congratulations to him, stepped up. And Frenchman was applauded by the Bernabeu after the second half, which was impeccable, as reported by Marca as well. I think then, yes, that was a big conversation about Madrid when they were going into this. The people who really didn't play well were the attackers, and that's something that we didn't expect. Time of the year didn't come in the pre-match analysis. No? We expected, say, Madrid players, defenders, rather will struggle, and then the attackers will shine. But then when we went into the game, especially in the second half, what happened was that now the defenders actually did shine. The defenders actually did play well. And we've mentioned Raul Asensio, Aurelien Tchouameni. They were actually very good at the back. And I've thought the likes of Vinicius Jr. really did struggle. And I've said it several times that Vini is struggling. Now Mbappe is beginning to get a goal, and Vini is struggling. Like I did say, Vini 8 million or contract extension anymore. It's going to come down to the performances of both players as to who is the de facto face of Real Madrid. Mbappe or Vinicius Jr. Because Mbappe is now beginning to score. He scored his first ever class Madrid derby goal. Oh, we're not matching him. Now there's going to be another Vinicius Jr. next to him. The performances now dwindle. It's going to be in the conversation. If the performances begin to dwindle, it's going to affect him over there. The Brazilian has changed his impact zone. The team collapses completely, and Ancelotti cries out for a search for space. That was a problem at the beginning of the season over there. All of them are beginning to edge towards the same area in finding space. Mbappe and Vini Jr. When the white team understood what a game was asking for, with its two wingers creating spaces instead of stepping on each other inside, Mbappe goal and Bellingham's post would come. Or in other words, Madrid began to generate danger, and that's really, really important because the whole game are essentially what Madrid were doing in the first half was that both Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. were almost trying to come inside, especially from the same area. The same problem he didn't come out several times this season. But when it got to a point where somebody would drop for the other, somebody would stay out wide for the other, somebody would step up for the other, that's when the Mbappe goal came. That's when the Jude Bellingham posted up and hit here, and you could tell both players were doing some good stuff in that regard over there for both teams. And I think that it was a good game for both of those teams, and what they had to do. And then Oko on top of Marca, Omar Trose, like I'm going to show a time clock, and obviously if Barca wins tonight at the Pizjuan, La Liga is red hot, and that's the thing, and it's true. And then Barca echo away to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan in a huge encounter between Tima, your friend FC Sevilla. Now, Sevilla traditionally always have it tough against Team your friend FC Barcelona, but Barca have also been very, very clear, said with respect to our plans in winning this season, La Liga, and everything that is at stake for them. They need to make sure they go into this match and then get results for themselves over there. The last time out, Barca Sevilla ball game in the Spanish La Liga. It was a 0-0 draw against my friend Getafe. Sevilla's unbeaten run in 4 games, 1-1, draw 3. If you know, and they make it difficult for anybody to come and get results over there. Their longest this season. That keeps them firmly in the gap of top 6 in match day 22. European competition is still just about within reach. Closing the gap will require an upset on Sunday against Barcelona, as lost are winless in their last top 18 matches against Barcelona. Against Barcelona, the last 18 matches, drawn 4, lost 14 of them, and could suffer their longest ever sequence of defeats against them in a competition in 6 losses currently. The contrast of their overall form, Sevilla have been steady without being spectacular. The Stadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, like I did say, venue with 5 wins and 3 draws, with all us ending the 1-1 draw and seeing a home team fight back after coming back where Barca opened up. Barca tracks Valencia the last time 5-0 out. Like I did say, Barca match so Mambo Bebrea, their face compact blocks. It has been very difficult for them to get results in there now. Ayana, they find it difficult to win. They have to dig deep. And I think this is going to be one of the matches where Barca would have to dig very, very deep to get anything out of this game, because any easy game at all. Barca are very, very stubborn. They will want to find ways of only being on more results from El Hornum. But then again, you're looking on the side of FC Getafe, and they've also been very, very good over there. Both of them last matches are head to head. So your ball at Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan last year, Barca could show them 2-1. Barca again the year before show them 3-0. So yes, it's not going to be an easy game, but I think the Barca has what it takes. Sevilla are not far off top spot in terms of getting European competition, but it's a game that's not going to be easy at all for team my friend FC Barcelona. They know. Say immediately they get the win today, it blows the La Liga wide open for Atletico de Madrid, for Barca, for Real Madrid. All of these teams, anybody can go into the La Liga and then get what they deem from it. Because again, this is a game that's not going to be easy. Sevilla, for goalkeeper friend Andrea Pedrosa, was given a task in stopping Lamine Yamal today, of course, over there. Hansi Flick, the last time Barcelona lost to Sevilla in La Liga was in 2015 over there, and it's a big game where Barca knows that they can get in there. And as we know, because the Barca team are arriving at Sevilla, and we are expecting that Barcelona will have Casado, Pedri, Gavi in the midfield 3, Alex Balde, Kubasi, Arau, Kunde, back 4, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal leading the lines of Team Fred FC and Barcelona. The Stadion has told the coaching staff that he will be ready for May in the last 5 games of the league and the Champions League semi-finals when he comes in over there. A lot of the people are doing comparison of Pedri and Abrantia, your friend Jude Bellingham over there. It doesn't matter as it stands now. Pedri has a big game today. He needs to go in there and get a job done. And the 2 managers, Ancelotti and Abrantia friend Diego Simeone, spoke about Barca game now. Simeone can say Barca taking advantage of the draw. I have to admit, Barca have been the best team in the La Liga this season. They play the best football. If they win tomorrow, it's going to be a tight league over there for themselves. Simeone saying the best team is Barca. Everyone has their opinion. It will be very competitive league. I'm happy with my team. We are leaders despite the difficulties that we've had with injuries, and that's why Carlo Ancelotti and with respect to game I also over there. Barca for there. It's a big relief saying that game ended in a draw. But wait to see how today pans out for team and friend FC Barcelona, any team, and of course the rest of the La Liga. If Barca wins tonight, it means say the La Liga now has been blown wide hot. Guys, this is where we draw the curtain on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We'll get back to you, God willing, maybe after the Barca match. And yes, I had more channel while the conversation on. So then stick and stay with us. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notification 10, make sure to choose you all. Send me anytime your content and drop, you will have your first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.